Good morning, and thank you for taking the time to engage in this discussion. Today's conversation is about student well-being, but more importantly, it is about institutional responsibility, governance, and assurance. We are here to examine how universities can move beyond the availability of support services toward demonstrable, proactive care in a manner that is scalable, defensible, and aligned with the expectations placed upon governing bodies. I want to begin by reframing the issue. Student well-being is no longer confined to student affairs or counseling services. It now intersects directly with enrollment stability, retention economics, institutional reputation, legal exposure, insurance posture, and accreditation review. The question before leadership today is not whether institutions care about students, but whether care is systematic, proactive, and demonstrable at an institutional level. Let us ground this conversation in data. National studies show that more than 1 in 3 college students has accessed mental health services in the past year, and 1 in 5 reports that emotional distress has materially affected academic performance. These are not isolated cases. They represent population-level conditions, and population-level conditions require systems, not episodic responses. University counseling centers play a critical role, and they do so under increasing strain. Even well-resourced centers typically reach only 10 to 15% of the student population annually. Wait times for non-urgent care are measured in weeks. This is not a failure of people or commitment. It is a structural limitation of reactive, appointment-based models in the face of rising demand. Attrition is where well-being quietly becomes a financial issue. Independent economic analyses estimate that the loss of a single enrolled student represents $15,000 to $25,000 per year in net revenue impact. For institutions of scale, even fractional changes in retention translate into millions of dollars annually, often without a clear causal signal. Well-being-related attrition is frequently invisible until it is irreversible. Following serious incidents, institutions face difficult questions from boards, from families, from insurers, and sometimes from courts. The questions are increasingly consistent. Was there proactive monitoring? Was engagement continuous? Is there evidence of preventive action? Or were services simply available upon request? In today's environment, intent is not a defense. Documentation and process matter. Most universities already have strong policies, dedicated professionals, and a sincere commitment to student care. What is often missing is daily engagement at scale, early warning grounded in lifestyle and behavior, anonymized population insight, and institution-level documentation of care. This gap is systemic, not operational, and it is precisely where institutions are most exposed. This is where Briea enters the conversation. The Briea Student Care Assurance Program is designed not as a wellness app, and not as a counseling replacement, but as an institutional assurance platform. It operationalizes proactive student care and produces documented evidence of reasonable duty of care, at scale, and with governance in mind. Mental health does not arise in isolation. It is deeply influenced by sleep, nutrition, physical activity, substance use, body weight, chronic health risk, and daily routine. Treating mental health without addressing these factors is incomplete. Briea is built on the recognition that mental well-being is an outcome of holistic well-being. At the student level, Briea functions as a 24-hour AI-powered care companion. It initiates engagement through voice, messaging, and app-based interactions, meeting students where they already are. Students receive guidance on fitness, diet, sleep, lifestyle habits, and daily routines in a DIY-first model, reducing stigma and increasing adoption. Most students self-manage successfully at this level. Mental well-being is monitored using globally validated instruments: stress, anxiety, depression, sleep, and emotional well-being. Results are interpreted immediately by AI, followed by guided actions and follow-ups. This is not diagnosis. It is early identification and preventive support embedded into daily student life. A critical design principle of Briea is proportional response. The default mode is self-guided care. Only when risk persists or escalates does the system move toward assisted support, and ultimately, controlled escalation. Escalation is purposeful, minimal, and aligned with campus-defined pathways. Privacy is foundational. Institutional dashboards are anonymized by default. Leadership sees trends, not names. Identifying information is revealed only when predefined escalation thresholds are crossed, and only to authorized roles. This ensures oversight without surveillance and care without intrusion. At the institutional level, Briea provides leadership with a governance view. You see engagement penetration, risk trends, outreach activity, and escalation follow-through, presented in board-ready, exportable formats. This is the layer that converts student engagement into institutional assurance. Many platforms focus on therapy access or student-facing tools. Briea occupies a different category. It exists to help institutions govern, document, and demonstrate student care across populations, over time, and under scrutiny. Even conservative retention improvements 0.5 percentage point can preserve hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars annually on campuses of scale. Briea's investment is modest relative to the downside risk it addresses. This is not about adding cost. It is about protecting institutional value. We recommend beginning with a 90-day pilot. It is intentionally low risk, limited in scope, and designed to produce leadership-level insight. The outcome is not anecdotes but data, evidence, and a clear basis for decision-making. For presidents and boards, Briea provides confidence. For CFOs, financial protection. For general counsel, defensibility. Most importantly, it provides students with earlier support before distress becomes crisis. This is not a question of values. It is a question of readiness. Can the institution demonstrate with confidence and clarity that it exercises proactive care for its students? Briea exists to make that answer yes. We invite you to take a measured, evidence-driven next step. Approve a pilot. Review the assurance metrics. Strengthen your institution's capacity to protect students and itself. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your continued commitment to student success.